Hi traders, welcome to Elite Currency. Today's video is focused on cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. All right, let's start with the weekly chart here for Bitcoin versus the US dollar. This large momentum to the upside is finally seeing a larger retracement occur, and price is heading back towards the short-term moving average on this chart. As you can see, we had retracements to the short-term moving average, the 21 EMA, on the mid-December and mid-July, and haven't returned since then. But I think that this retracement is looking like it will, because we've had a break below these weekly lows, as you can see. So a zigzag motion like this seems to be taking place, and price could be retesting the bottom. If it breaks that, there is some space maybe perhaps to fall to 10,000, and if it breaks below that psychological round level to the minus 272 target at around 8,200, which generally speaking I think should act as a bouncing spot. It is a little bit difficult to find a bottom here because price has moved up so much, but I think we could maybe start with this 21 EMA, touches the last one, and move the fib up to here, as you can see. And let's take a look. We had a 50 fib bounce already a few weeks ago, but price has not been able to continue the rally from that level. So the next bouncing spot area, zone of confluence, is probably around the 61.8 and minus 272 target here. So we are getting close to support, but there could be some more downside pressure before we get there. You can see that we are going through a little bit of retracement at this point. So let's take a look on the daily chart. We already see some bearish momentum indeed. Look, thick red bars. All right, so on our MACD, so as long as this keeps pushing on the daily chart like this, right, and this keeps falling, there is still that bearish pressure. But as soon as the MACD loses its thickness and goes into thin red, that's the moment where we might see the end of this correction. This could be an ABC correction, and candlestick patterns at the support levels might indicate that that is the end of the correction, and upside could continue after that. If that happens in the next 2 weeks, I would say. This week, let's see, this week, 2.5 weeks probably. Looks still good for continuation if that happens in the next 2.5 weeks. 4-hour chart, let me get rid of all these fibs. It's starting to become a little bit distracting. So there we go. All right, so or I should say, Bitcoin didn't break through this resistance trend line, but it did break through this support, this triangle, and price, pretty good breakout candle, maybe already here. Otherwise, this one looks like a pretty good breakout candle. So I'm personally not looking to short myself, but could that create a follow through to the downside? I think so. But as I said, more interesting, I think, is the ability for price to go deeper and then look for a potential bounce. How that bounce will look like, will it happen, at what level, that is something that remains to be seen. It depends on price action, depends on candlestick patterns. And but at this moment, it is looking like rather a zigzag is unfolding like this than the triangle. There was also the possibility that price would make a triangle like this, right, and then break up. That does not look like it's happening, although we didn't break this bottom yet. So theoretically, a bounce here and then a bounce like this could still create that triangle, by the way. So we got to keep an eye on this purple level. If it does bounce, then probably it will respect this fib. All right, if there's a bullish bounce, I would expect it to stop around the 78.6 fib at 15,600. It will probably challenge 12.5. And then here would be a very interesting buy, because this is, in my view, because this is an A, B, C. No, wait, it should be the other way around. It actually, if this is A, this is B, C, D, E, that would be bearish triangle, in fact, for one more downside. So that would be a bit different triangle. That's also possible. I was actually thinking about a bullish triangle, which would be like this: A, B, C, D, E, and then up. But that will take still some time before this triangle is finished, this bullish triangle. So wouldn't think about that for the moment. It's probably a zigzag. If it breaks this bottom, it is, and there should be some follow through to 10, 9, 8, and 7.5, perhaps even. All right. Ultimately, I'm more interested in a continuation in the next 2.5 weeks of the upside. So looking for a bounce here or a breakout of this trend line or this top. That's way later probably though. All right, so Bitcoin looking for a deeper retracement, basically And Ethereum, 2 4-hour chart, as you can see, had a pretty good upside break in momentum, taking it from 500-ish to over the 1,000, up to 1,300, even above 1,300. And price now making a retracement. All right, but the upside was more recent on Ethereum than Bitcoin. Momentum is still stronger. Let's take away this trend line so you can see that a little bit better. As you see, we have recently still higher highs. So the structure is a little bit different. More momentum still in the market. You see, yesterday was still a higher high, although it was a doji. Pretty hefty retracement, but overall the momentum is still visible, and this is strong price action on the 4-hour chart. But I think that if it can find a bottom here at the long-term moving average, if it can kind of slow down, pop up, make a hook back like this, it could be more set up for a bullish continuation than Bitcoin at this moment. And last but not least, Ripple is in this bearish channel. It is also correcting deeper. And then Ethereum, just like Bitcoin, pretty deep retracement at this moment. Strong trend to the upside here, but it's also moving pretty fast down. It's like a pop and fall at this moment. So I think that 78.6 fib might be the next guiding spot. I mean, we can use perhaps this fib still. Let me check that, if that makes sense. 1 second. Probably not. Probably just better to use the bottom here. Yeah, looks better. And it is riding this channel. So let's see if it reaches the confluence of the channel. 87 at 78.6 fib here could be a bouncing spot, and still valid is the break above the channel for continuation higher. All right, will that happen? I don't know. Another scenario could be that price hits the 78 and just makes some consolidation. But as soon as it breaks the consolidation, there could be that continuation higher, at least to perhaps retest these highs. Doesn't have to make a new higher high, but it could retest these tops and bottoms first of all, right? Something like that. That's something those are the first targets that jump into mind. Now remember, these even cryptocurrencies are based on patterns. You can see that market price movements are repetitive and moving in these patterns, and by analyzing these patterns you can get an understanding of what price might be doing. So we talk about that more on our website elitecurrency.com, where you can find out at the ECS start package, for instance, how you can analyze charts in more detail. Wish you all great trading and talk to you soon. Cheers.